another video. I don't necessarily have anything planned to talk about, but I'll give like a little update on what I've been doing and see where that takes me. Um, Lately, I've been seeking out um, connections with people and seeking out friendships and trying to deepen them, I guess. I never really had that growing up. It was more like um, I had my two sisters. We were in private school, a private Christian school, and we moved to from state to state in our childhood. So I didn't. I had childhood friends, and then I lost them, and then we were only and I lived in Florida. I mean, in Illinois for 6 years, and I had the childhood friends, and then moved to Florida, and we were there for 2 years, and then we moved up to Virginia, which is where I am now, and I've been here, ever since. But I have moved around a couple of houses since we've been here, so it's been a little hard to make friends. But me and my sisters had the same sense of humor, of course, because we're sisters. I mean, we're siblings. We grew up um, seeing the same stuff and the same experiences. And since I didn't really have friends of my own, I kind of became a loner, not on purpose. Like, I wanted to have friends, so I would act funny and try to be outgoing, but it was almost too, no, it definitely was to an annoying point for a lot of people. I remember I went through a phase um, when we first moved up here to Virginia, and we were still in private school. There were a couple people, and I was in seventh grade, I think, and I would just follow them around when we weren't in class. And hi, 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 trying to be as random or weird as possible, I guess. And there were quite a few times that I remember somebody said something, and I don't know if I actually found it funny or if I thought it would be funnier for me to laugh for literally half an hour that my abs were hurting and I had a hard time breathing. And where's my pocket? But yeah, I remember being really weird. I remember, um, I just realized I've been going off on a tangent because I was talking about something else. But um, I remember my dad would give me like VCRs and stuff like that to take apart, and he gave me a toolbox, and he was an electrician, so he already was, and he was like really good with his hands. Like, he was a licensed plumber, electrician, and when we first, well, this probably the second house we moved into up here in Virginia, um, he finished the whole basement basically by himself. Um, and I mean, he had us three kids to help with some stuff. But he kind of encouraged me to be more um, hands on and um, and technical, sort of. Not like he didn't push, he just encouraged, because that's the way he was, and that's, I mean, that's what he knew. And it's a very ST way to be. And I recently subscribed to Dave Superpowers and Objective Personality monthly thing. So I've been watching a lot of videos, and even before then, like, their basic videos on YouTube uh, showed me a lot about my that I'm not the type that I think I am. But I didn't really even know what type it was anyway, because I had people tell me I was ISTP, and I was asking around on like Reddit and Tumblr, try to get other people's opinions, which I guess is TE, other people, like the group, what the group thinks about what about what I am, and or what they think about a situation. And so yeah, some people thought I was ISTP because I like to tinker with things, I like to make things. I used to make cosplay props, and you can see my other channel for that. Quite frankly, builds on YouTube here and on Facebook. And so I was pretty technical, and I actually just found a composition book from when I was in high school, and we would have to write down a journal, and it was all very, this is what happened, this one happened, this is what happened, and I like when I'm writing something for school, I have such a hard time. Oh my gosh, it's windy. I had such a hard time with what to write because it's like writing a book report. You're supposed to write about how you feel about something, and it's like this. I mean, it's not always something you read into. Sometimes just like this is a book. This is what happened. This is what happened. This is what happened, which is a very ST archetype thing to do, um, or to write about. I guess is the details. This is what happened. Um, but how did I go from talking about um, what was I even talking about in the first place? Childhood. Before that, I was talking about seeking connection. That's what it was. Seeking connection, then childhood, and then the book, and then how I write and typing, whatever. Anyway, so back to the connection part that I was actually talking about. Um, so I've been seeking out connections, and as I mentioned in the other videos, I had friends that I didn't realize how good of friends that like friends were supposed to be, and they're amazing. Um, I'm so glad that I found them, or that that we had that connection to build upon. And I also, I've met somebody, and I was really hoping it would go somewhere romantically, but we differed on how we thought relationships should be. But we were both really honest and communicative about our whole idea of everything, and we connected so well, and we're still friends because it ended on such a good note because we both reached an understanding of how we felt about everything. Unlike my ex, who just didn't give me any sort of opinion to go off of, just, I don't love you anymore. I don't want to talk about it. That's it. Very closed off about how she feels, which I guess would make it a demon feeling for her, which would make sense because she's like a workaholic. Um, but um, yeah, so this girl I met, it wasn't like anything crazy that was different about us. I was monogam. I mean, I'm monogamous, and um, she's not monogamous, or she. I mean, we know how we feel about it. Like, she wants to be able to explore her feelings fully with anyone that comes around. I mean, she wants to feel full, and the way I feel it is I want to feel full by knowing that I'm in someone's heart completely. I want to be 100%, and if I feel that someone else is there, I'm not getting the 100%, which I guess can be selfish, but is it? I mean, it can't be wrong to want to feel full emotionally and to feel satisfied with a relationship because you want to be someone's everything. And there's extremes to that. Like, you can be someone's someone can be your everything, and you get obsessed with it. Like, you follow them, you get paranoid if they're going out with other if they're hanging out with their friends, like, what, oh my gosh, they're gonna cheat on me, something like that. And then the other extreme would be not caring about what they do, not giving enough attention to them. But if I had to try to guess the opposite end of the spectrum um, for wanting someone to be your everything, but I mean, it's like Yeah, I guess there isn't really another end of the spectrum for that particular thing that I can think of, um, which is TI for me, I believe. I don't know. I'm trying to get into the typing. I've some of the videos have been really helpful to explain the difference between TE and TI for me. I mean, I found one on their site the other day that made it click so well. It's and I'll try to remember because I don't have any papers in front of me right now. But so T thinking is about the reasons and the process, method, um, how things can be better, and either you look at how you how your process is, and um, if the process works for you, and you gather input from the tribe, like it works for you, and you want to know that it's value that the tribe values it, versus extroverted thinking, which is you want to look at the tribe's process. You want to make yours better by looking at the tribe and seeing um, their process, and then you value it because it works for the tribe, or it works for you, and you try to show how it's valuable to the tribe. So that's what I'm trying to work out. I feel like I'm more FETI, but some days I feel more FITE. Still working on that. And because it's in a balance, I don't know if it's the middle or the top. But because I have the ST archetype, the just the listing, the SI, I think kind of help narrow it down. That SI is kind of a savior that I didn't realize I did before, and it's such a hard thing to get away from. That it's, I, I mean, just a note, just noting stuff. And so, yeah, I've been making those connections with people, and I didn't really have that when I was growing up, even though I wanted it. And then for the longest time, I was a shut-in at here at my mom's house, um, and I wanted that connection so badly that I found the connection in a group online on Minecraft actually, and they were like the best friends I could have. And even though I couldn't be there physically with them, we had a good time online. And honestly, that helped me stay alive. Honestly, was having those connections there, and eventually we kind of drifted apart. Um, and at that time, I was with my ex, and I honestly really like being alone too. Like sometimes, especially around like my family, or not my sisters, maybe around people that don't share the same view as me, and that they're so boisterous about it, and they're just like in your face about it, even like accidentally. Like my stepdad, his views on Trump and the gun laws and whatever. Um, he'll argue with you about it, but even when he's not arguing with you about it, he'll argue at the TV about it. Like he'll yell at the TV like, "That's like, you see that? How can this be happening?" Like it's just so extroverted about his feelings. Um, so much so that he has to blast it. Um, and so around those kinds of people, or maybe even just the blasting people in general, until I get to know them, um, I kind of shy away from it, or not really even shy away. I just kind of like I shut myself in. And when my ex broke up with me, that was like my biggest fear, that I was going to be alone again, that I was going to be a shut in, that I wouldn't have those connections. And so, you know what? Maybe maybe extroverted feeling is actually a demon for me. Maybe, I don't know. I feel like I'm more EJ, even though I've been typed online as an ISTP, or I feel like I'm an ISTJ, and the 16 personalities thing at test, I took it 3 times and it told me I was an INFP, and but I can't tell myself if that's because of how I've changed as a person because of everything that's happened to me, and I'm like kind of forced to explore my own emotions, or if it's because of, I mean, just matured from life. I mean, I have no idea, but I'm trying to accept this growing so I can become better, so I don't have to rely on the connections. I don't have to rely on, well, yeah, the connections. I have to become comfortable with being by myself. That's something that I'm just so uncomfortable with. Even though I say that I like to be alone, yeah, I mean, I like the quiet. I like being able to think about things. I like not having to hide myself around other people, that I can just be myself around myself. And at the same time, I just hate being alone. Like, I want to go out and do things with people. I want to have the play energy, but instead I have the consume energy. So maybe I don't know. Maybe this right here is blasting to YouTube about my feelings. But I needed this outlet because I mean, as I want to talk to my friends about all this, but I don't want to be a burden to them. I mean, that's what the friends are for. I'm just still not used to being so open with them. And the only person that I really feel like I can be so open with is, I mean, there's one person in that friend group, but they also have their own things going on. And I know that, they don't mind me talking, but the burden thing. And the only other person I feel I can talk to is that girl that I met, that we're still friends and I'm monogamous, because we have been so open with each other already about everything that um, that I feel like I can talk to her about anything and she'll understand. She's very NF, I think. She's got that understanding um, capability, and so in order to feel more comfortable on my own, not have to have those connections while also building real connections with people, um, I have such a hard time waking up early. So I've been trying to do that, wake up early, get stuff done, work out, get in shape, maybe do some math in the morning because I'm going back to school, try to prepare for that. Preparation in the physical, is that SI? I don't know. I'm so bad at discipline, though, but that's what I'm trying to get better at, is the discipline, and being comfortable with myself. So I guess that's what the video is about. And I'll probably end it there because I have to go to work soon. But hope you're all doing okay, even though I haven't had any views yet. But anyone watching this in the future, I hope you're all doing all right. And message me anytime you need to talk about something, and I will be here for you emotionally. Even though I'm more of a help you solve your problem, don't know what to tell you to help you. So maybe that is Demon FE, Savior TI, and then I have no idea about my observers. Yeah, but that is all for now. That is all. Bye.